What's going on today, everybody? We're going to be comparing the ETS top mount intercooler versus the stock OEM STI top mount intercooler. This isn't going to be like a dyno comparison, more of a physical comparison. Kind of give you some tips and tricks on how to install the bigger top mount. As you can see, I already got the ETS removed. Got everything over here in the floor. We'll give you some weights, dimensions. Like I say, give you some tips on how to install the bigger one, because the bigger top mount is a pain in the hind end to get in there. So some things I've learned to make it a little bit easier getting it in. So here we go. We'll start out by getting you all some weights. Just a note, the Y pipe off the stock top mount fits the ETS. The Y pipe, from what I gather, just by preliminary measurements, is about 2 pounds. So we'll get the stock top mount on here. Roughly 10 pounds, and you add the Y pipe back on there, so you're sitting at 12 for the stock top mount. ETS altogether, 22, 10 pounds when they're all together, complete with the Y pipe on each one. It's a pretty significant difference weight for the ETS there, but it is a big beast. As far as dimensions go, I couldn't hold the camera and measure at the same time, so I got them here on some paper. Stock, as far as from not counting these flanges, just the fin core area, you're looking at about 20 3/4 inches of length from the tank here to the back end tank. You're talking about 10 1/2 inches. And then the thickness, excluding the flange here, you're talking about 3 1/2 inches thick versus the ETS is 21 inches from end to end. The same width, surprisingly, from tank to tank, 10 1/2. And then the overall thickness, it's a 1/2 inch thicker. Now the big difference in the weight comes from the core design. You can see the stock intercooler, not really a really good, efficient design. It's kind of open, it's not bar and plate. But the ETS, you can see how tightly dense the plate and bars are. So it's a lot denser setup, more efficient as far as cooling goes. That's where it gets all of its weight from. You can see this coupler on the stock STI. Got this little metal elbow in it, which makes it an extreme pain in the hind end to get on because it don't want to flex. And you can see on the ETS, I've got a Turbo Smart 90 elbow that I had to cut to size. It just helps out as far as getting this bigger top mount on and helps fitting it on there. You can see I've got a white mark right here with some white marker paint that helps me. That's where the end of the turbo comes in, and that's how I can line up my hose clamp. I've actually got my hose clamp marked with white paint also, so I just line those up, and that way I know that I'm on there and not off the turbo, so keeps it leak free. Another little thing I've learned with the bigger top mount, especially the ETS, is that you can see the bracket right here. I've got it zip tied with usually a bolt that sticks up right here. And what I noticed is that top mount, the bigger ETS, if you're not paying attention, that bolt head will grind into the back of the top mount while you're trying to install it. And you'll think that you have an issue, but really that bolt is what's holding it up. What I did is, you can see I removed that bolt, zip tie it together, but I've also had to modify these brackets. That was due to the fuel injector setup. And you actually get spacers that come with it. Here's the spacer I use on the right side, and my spacer setup on the left side. Got these spacers. I think one came with the Cobb Turbo. I think this little one came with the Cobb Turbo, and a thicker one came with the ETS kit. You can see this is a different style bolt, and what it is, it's a little smaller diameter, but I run it down through the middle of this bolt hole with these spacers on it and put a nut on the end of it, so that way it holds it up off of everything down here and it keeps it up from rubbing this. Just something to help you out as far as not gouging the back of it, because like I say, I gouged the back of it, and I did it. Where'd it go? Right there. See right there? I was gouging the back of it when I was trying to install it, so just lesson learned. Oh, you can see we got everything back installed. You can see us talking about those paint marks. I don't know if you can see them down in there. We got them lined up. And then the spacer set up here on the left side. See that? See how the bolt runs and spacers. Just up off of the wastegate actuator. So then the right side, got the spacer right there. Just some things to note also I didn't mention earlier is that the ETS comes with studs you have to insert into a bypass valve for the Y pipe, so you don't have to screw into the intercooler anymore. So no stripping it out, nothing like that. Studs are a nice setup. Another thing, got the 90 Turbo Smart. I bought an extra one for the coupler down there, and the ETS also comes with the EVAP kit if you want to run the EVAP. Of course I got an AOS, don't have that anymore. So that's the comparison between the ETS and the OEM top mount. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. We'll catch you in the next one.